Hi, my name is Elena Monleon, and I'm a Normalite from the Cebu Normal University Midillian campus. I'm currently in the third year level, and to tell you honestly, it still felt surreal every time I hear my common friends call me a Normalite. Because it seems like it's just yesterday when I took the entrance exam, became literally hopeless about getting in, unfortunately bringing the name Normalite with me wherever I go. I'd like to recall on the details before walking on the hallways of the campus. I remember when I was about to apply for college, I had my fair share of doubts as well. I was very hesitant whether or not pursue a degree. Universities with tolerable entrance exams are expensive. And from what I heard, they won't offer quality trainings. CNU Medallion during the time already made its way into becoming one of the best universities to study in the northern part of Cebu. And to me, I was like bridging the gap between Earth and Moon to give it a try and someday be a Normalite. CNU Medallion's story of greatness is somewhat close to my heart as it reminded me of my favorite author's remarkable story of fighting in the midst of loss. The CNU alumni from my place would always tell me about the school state back then. At first glance, none would ever think it's one of the top performing universities who would really hone yourself to become who you aspire to be. So what are the qualities that made CNU Medallion similar to Stephen King? Well, like the great Stephen King, CNU Medallion is a tangible proof that one could rise from rags, that no matter how the odds be, we can still manage to pave our way into becoming record breakers, that the absence of luxury will never be a hindrance to make it to the top. Second is that Stephen King did not let failure define him. He instead lived his purpose and continued doing what he's passionate of until it's time for him to be globally famous. That is how CNU Medallion worked as a university. The school, including the faculty and staff that comprise CNU Medallion family, have struggled many times from the beginning. I even heard one of the elderly in the neighborhood saying her daughter before would always ask her to allow her to have her degree at the CNU Medallion campus, but she disagreed with it many times as she sees no potential in CNU as it's just starting and lacks almost all resources for teaching. That she wants her daughter to experience an authentic college life in the city. The belief that CNU Medallion can ever stand on its own had been circulating around places since then, but it slowly proved itself. Third is what amazes me the most. CNU Medallion managed to create their own name in the field of education. It fortunately became the home of the best performing educators. Now, CNU Medallion even became one of the pride of the North, having students from different municipalities coming in to be educated in one of the finest universities one could ever experience. We stand alone as an independent university amidst the fact that we are still a campus extension. We may be affiliated with the main campus, but we continue to persevere. Did not let the past dictate how should we be in the future and always tries to reach beyond expectations. This is perhaps how Stephen King started. None ever believed in his ability as a writer, so he independently worked on his betterment. The success he achieved, he owes it to none. So as for me, being called a Normalite from the Medallion gave me utmost pride. It almost became power itch before my name, and wearing the CNU uniform with the CNU Medallion ID made me walk with grace, and to me I scream authority. And never felt inferior since I became part of this school. The fourth one is that CNU Medallion became the pride of its students. Everyone began to talk about it like how Stephen King to all his readers. The name of the school and its achievements also became the students' armor. The fifth one is of course, CNU Medallion continues to pave its way being the best universities to build a career with. Despite the drastic changes in the field of education, CNU Midillians remains indestructible. Going next to the fifth is the fact that CNU Midillian still believes that there's always a room for improvement. It's always a school of humility which until now continues to accept suggestions and is open for positive changes as long as it runs according to the school's purpose. That is closely similar to how Stephen King's works are. The seventh is probably the fact that CNU Midillian is a growing lesson to learn. The more students coming in, the bigger the family grows, the more useful lessons we inculcated within the minds of many. The lessons we learn from the university does not only remain within the corners of the school, but also those who are with us. Because again, like King's books, one who reads it will always have the feeling of not letting it stay with him alone. The eighth one is that CNU Midillian does not stick to its mother purpose. Stephen King's genre are mostly science fiction, horror and all that, but the book itself does not stand on its genre alone. It introduces a lot of perspectives. That is how CNU Midillian works. Although its main goal lies within crafting students to become top-performing professionals in the future, they never set boundaries for students to focus only this vision. They allow us to explore, learn, and share. The ninth one is that it's not only a school but a home for everyone. When you read Stephen King's books, you always feel a sense of familiarity because that is perhaps what he wants his readers to feel, to be numb of the absence of things and feel as if everything's there for you to enjoy. The 10th and final one is that CNU Midillian is irreplaceable. When you read Stephen King's books, you don't only appreciate the beauty of literature, nor the way his lines perfectly sit on the story. You also appreciate the fact that there might not be any book better than this one. That is how CNU Midillian makes you feel. You enter as a newbie in a whole new, strange environment. You leave carrying the feeling of home and the thought of not having a home better than CNU Midillian campus. But as Stephen King always does, face failure like it's an opportunity to rise. I believe CNU Midillian will not stop here. This is just a milestone on its way to absolute greatness. Hail thy alma mater, hail CNU Midillian.